I know the pink one is like, and I like that a lot. Ugh. So for today, I'm super excited because we are playing with not only one of my favorite palettes in my collection, which is the ZULU palette from JUVIA'S place. Look at her, she's so well loved. But we are doing so at the request of one of you guys who just purchased it and is looking forward to jumping in. So today's tutorial is going to focus on this right here. Ooh, ooh, summer, sunset, halo eye. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we are gonna jump into the look. We are back and we are missing all of that fake tan from last week. That really did not last long at all now, did it? So the first thing that I'm going to do is pick up a fluffy brush. You guys know I love a fluffy brush. We're gonna be loading this fluffy brush with that yellow shade. Look at that, look at that. That's so bright, I love it. I've been playing around with my camera settings in an attempt to get rid of that random orangeness. I am not orange, so I would prefer not to look that way on camera. Concentrating it a lot here onto the crease, and then like always, as the brush loses product, we start sweeping up in that soft swiping motion. Not going all the way to the brow, but close enough. I'm gonna pick up a tighter fluffy brush that's nice and like pointed here. And I'm loading that primarily on the belly of the brush because what we're going to be doing is stamping that color into the outer corner and then starting to like wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. We're gonna do that on the outer corner as well as the inner corner. And I do this with my eye open so I can hit exactly in the crease and then a little bit higher, which is what the wiggle, 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 wiggle is for. You'll also notice that I'm not going up any higher than that yellow. I do want it to be that really pretty fade. And I'm also kind of letting the product like dissipate from that brush before sweeping it close to the center. You guys know that my favorite style of eyeshadow is a halo eye. And then because I do want it to look like a sunset, it just seemed like perfectly fitting that it would have that really pretty like fade and then that like beam. I'm picking up that fluffy brush from earlier. I'm not adding any excess product. I'm just using whatever is left and hitting the very top edge of that brown to kind of help it like feather in together. And now I'm gonna use that same smaller fluffy brush, and I am loading quite a bit of that purple shade from the palette. We're gonna pack that right here. You can see that I'm placing that purple a little bit lower initially than that brown, but then we're doing the same motion that we did before to kind of start that tapering blend. And we are gonna drag that all the way down here to the lash line. Probably should have done this before doing the orange. I really, really like the yellow that's up there, but I feel like if we take just the teensiest bit of this orange color on like the point of the brush without having too much excess and hit just the very tippity top of that orange, but not blowing past that yellow. I don't know if you guys can really even see that on camera. It's incredibly subtle, but man, does it look good. And this orange color, unlike everything else where I kind of like skipped the middle, I am gonna go ahead and sweep that across. Look at that, she is so sunny. Add that P. Louise base and going right over our pupil for placement. Ayo. I don't want this to look like a line, so I am going to use a finger to kind of tap back and forth like a windshield wiper. I'm going to pick up that same fluffy brush and a hint of that yellow, that tiny brush with a hint of that orange, and then knocking off that excess product. I'm going to turn this brush a little bit more flat into the pan, and I'm gonna load the belly of it with this really pretty like duochrome color. It is pink, but it does have a golden reflect to it, and for that reason, I think that it's going to really, really look nice here in the center. We are on the belly of that brush, so we're gonna start concentrating that right here in the center of that halo towards the lash line, and then softly stroking up and a pinch more of the purple just to deepen everything that's down here. Like I said, it's always about that fade. As for the lower lash line, I'm gonna be picking up that same smaller, tight brush, and I'm going to pick up that yellow shade. I'm gonna hit right here in the very outer corner where everything is like come to a stopping point, and I'm going to extend that yellow shade from right here on down. And into the lower lash line as well. So if you've been here on my channel before and seen pretty much any of my beauty looks, especially the halo eyes, especially the colorful ones, you guys know that I love to keep the shape of my eyeshadow incredibly rounded. I have really big eyes. I feel like I have the perfect real estate to do so, and that is how I prefer mine. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that with yours. If that is not something that you enjoy, you can keep a more flat shape. You could do a winged liner and then nothing on the bottom if that's the kind of makeup wearer you are. Really, it is whatever floats your boat, but this floats mine, and so I'm gonna show you how I like to do it. Usually the first shade that I use to smoke out, I am incredibly messy with, simply because it's all about that gradient, it's all about that fade, and I love like that smoky, sultry, sunsetty like mess. I'm not gonna worry about knocking off excess product from the brush. I wanna keep some of that yellow because we're going from light into dark and tapering ever so slightly closer to our lash line all the way. So I'm going to hit right here a little bit tighter in than I did with that yellow, with that orangey color that we added earlier. I'm packing that orangey shade right out into the bottom and starting to sweep down. Picking up a little bit of purple on that same brush, again, not knocking off any excess product, but this time I'm concentrating that color on the point or the very tippity top of that brush. And we are going to hit that same area, but again, ever so slightly tighter. I do a little like tip tap patty whack, and then I start to sweep out a little bit. And then I'm gonna pick up a little bit more product, hit the very underside of where the top and lower lash lines connect, and softly sweep in. Do you guys like these really in-depth tutorials, or do you prefer the more like chit-chatties get readies with me? Or how many of you guys have taken one of these like crazy looking or more fun colored eyeshadow looks and then tried to do the same tips and tricks but with like a more neutral color scheme? Because I know that I mention in a lot of my videos that that is something that you absolutely can do. I just don't know how well that translates. I do want to have a video soon in my makeup basics playlist talking about like how to use colors or how to like make your palettes work. Let me know if that's something that would interest you, or just let me know in general what you guys find the most useful as far as like my channel goes, the kinds of videos that you guys like to see from me. It's past time that I did a body paint, so hopefully I'll be sitting down to do one of those at some point this week. Same point of that brush, dipping into that shimmer shade that we popped right here. And we are going to use this right on the inner corner. All right, so we added mascara. I'm not gonna bother with false lashes because I'm gonna take pictures and then take it off. And also, I don't feel like you need false lashes just because you have drama going on your eyes. I like it perfectly fine without it, but since I did mention earlier that you can take the same tips and tricks and use an entirely different color scheme and get a similar look, I thought it might be fun for us to do that right here, right now. For example, every time I do like a bright, fun, colorful look, I always tell you guys you can use the same tips and tricks but with neutral tones to create something a little bit more like everyday wearable for those of you who are working in an office or just not comfortable wearing color in general. So we're gonna do that same thing but with this palette. And by that I mean this other side is not going to be neutral, so sorry. I will do one of those videos in the future. If that is something you guys would love to see, let me know in the comments down below. But since this is the palette that we're working with at the request of one of you guys, I thought it would be most fitting that I chose a different color scheme from the same palette. That way you got 2 looks out of 1 video. Okay, so we managed to use pretty much the whole palette in that first look, with the exception of these 2 metallic shades here, this pink, and then this teal shade. Speaking of teal, I do want to go ahead and take this opportunity to say hi and thank you so much for watching all of my videos to my dear friend McCarty. You are thebomb.com. Her favorite color is teal, so I'm going to find a way to put this in today's look. That was a violent spray. Come on, Tart. Alright you guys, and that is going to be it for today's tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you find it useful. Let me know what you guys think down below, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can be notified every time I post a new video, which is every Monday and Friday at 1 p.m. And as always, drop a comment down below letting me know anything that you guys would love to see. We are in June now, so you know we're in like full summer swing, but when I started my YouTube channel about 2 years ago, I started with a Christmas in July mini-series, and I did mean to revisit that series last year in July. However, I was still training for a bodybuilding competition and time got away from me and I wasn't able to give it my full attention. And so this year I am going to also be doing a Christmas in July mini-series. I'm really looking forward to making those videos for you guys and hearing what you think. I already have all of my characters picked out, I don't know. If you can think of anybody that you would just love to see, go ahead and drop me a comment down below. And if it doesn't make it in the Christmas in July mini-series, you may see it around Christmas time this year, because I also have some pretty fun things planned already. Yes, I know, as well as Halloween. Like, this year, you guys, hopefully it's gonna be spectacular. Boo. I hope you guys have a very fun, safe, healthy day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.